I'm Tim Hooper.
And I'm Mike Gandolfo.
And this is The Trust Factor,
where high touch
plus high tech
multiplied by high trust
equals the real estate professional's formula for success.
Hey, fellas, if you are a guy and you are watching this, this is your warning that Valentine's Day is 3 days away. And it's Saturday this year, which I think like having Valentine's Day on the weekend probably puts a little bit more pressure on Valentine's Day. I'm not sure. What happens in the Hooper household on Valentine's Day with all your kids running around and all kinds of stuff? This is actually my first Valentine's Day as an empty nester, actually. So yeah.
Dude, it's a great question. Every year it's been more of a date. It's been a special dinner. It's been a date environment. Date the girls, date Jen. Boys will make cards. They're all getting older now, teenagers. So I'm guessing that this year we may have, they've done Valentine's for like friends and stuff, but this year might be the year where there might be some Valentine's coming into the family or some Valentine's going out. So we'll see. We'll see. We're not forcing anything. We'll see. But what about you?
Well, this is where you're smarter than me, because my wife, who expects the good meal, has realized that the good meal exists when I am the one who is preparing the good meal. So if people listen to the show, you might know that I do like to cook and I like to feed people. And so she will expect for me to make her just a really great meal. And, it's kind of awesome. I think the way that our relationship has grown, it's definitely more about the quality time than it is about the physical gifts, right? And so, we'll carve out time and I'll make her a really good dinner, and we'll probably open a bottle of red wine and see what happens. And
beautiful.
Yeah, that's we'll keep it simple, but make it about us, right?
Yes.
Like that's what it should be. So
yes. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Exciting time. February, you're just a month away from spring, and there's that the melting of the snow. I always feel like February is the segue between cold January and the warmth of spring. And so happy Valentine's. And as we dig in today, we're going to do an AI fire round. So let's talk about some of the AI things that are happening right now in our worlds, and some of the things, Mike, you and I are getting asked about AI, right? So there's a lot of good. Real quick, couple announcements. So if you guys didn't see, Meta bought Manus.
I was actually going to bring that up on this call.
Yeah, so
mainly because So I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about what Manus is. From what I can gather, Manus is like the first super powered AI agent that's actually affordable for someone to go grab. I have not done it yet.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to probably do it. But I think you bringing up Manus, and I've already been using Perplexity, and I use Google Gemini, I use Notebook LM, and people are using ChatGPT, and like, at what point is it like overload? Am I gonna look 36 months from now and be like, I'm subscribing to 10 different AI products, each at $200 a year, and what do I really need? Like,
right.
We mentioned this, like the AI stuff is such in the infancy, and all these products are popping up and whatever else. How do I know when it's time for me to make the jump into a product,
right?
Or not make the jump?
Well, and the challenge too with that is replacement. So if I'm going to move to Truist from Chase as a bank, and both have fees, I'm probably going to replace. I'm probably going to move completely from Chase to Truist, right? Or vice versa. And just make an analogy. I think the hard part right now is some of these AIs can do most of Canva or some of Canva, but not all of Canva. So you're still pro at Canva, and you're paying plus subscription or pro subscription on an AI. So right now, I think there's some infancy that in a couple of months makes absolute sense, right? So the infancy is, am I an early adopter? Do I get in? Do I start using this? But does it get me everything I need, right? And so, for instance, I've done my PowerPoints and my presentations through Canva for a long time. The reason for that I went to Canva in the first place was, number one, I think some of us love graphic design. If that's Canva for you, it scratches that need for you to be a creator and like design. That's fine. But a mentor told me a long time ago, Tim, do what only you can do and delegate the rest. For me, I get more joy out of like coloring an adult coloring book with pencils and my daughter and sitting there and doing it together than I would in Canva splicing together a flyer for an event coming up. That's a low payoff when somebody could do that. I could pay somebody to do that. So Manus basically is, yes, a full-blown agent. It was a Chinese-based company, which just for my side of always trying to be compliant when I'm training people on AI, I'm big about making sure that the AI is domiciled in the country that I'm doing my business, because we are, if you like this or not, I'm not getting political here, but we are in a race for AI dominance. So I do not want a government of the country I'm in saying to a government of a country that's in an AI race to say, you can't, that's not allowed here, and cutting it off. And there went my workflows. So I wasn't big about pushing Manus. I kind of shared in conversations between buddies.
Yep.
It wasn't my slides. Well, Meta just bought them.
Yeah. Changes everything, right?
It changes everything. So now that Meta bought them, they are going to apply, Meta just went through, did everybody get the Facebook settlement? I mean, some of us are getting like $27 checks in the mail.
$27?
$27, man.
Sounds just like the real estate.
I don't, when I get these email messages, even they're legit, like click here, claim your thing. I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, oh, it just drives me nuts to even click the button. Isn't even worth 27. Like just send it, keep the pool big, maybe make it 27.0001 pennies for everybody else. I don't need the 20, whatever. But anyway, so Meta has complied, or has had to comply to standards of privacy and whatnot. They are domiciled here. They go, Mark's been before Congress a lot. So by Meta buying Manus, now Manus is under, and do your research. But now that's awesome. That's cool. So I can start looking at, okay, maybe I could build workflows there. And what I will tell you is this: I can take my same brain dump of 10 minutes of, this is the thing I'm thinking about. This is a story. These are my points. Help me design this into an outline for like CE. The same brain dump in ChatGPT, I could put that same brain dump in Manus, upload a logo, theme this into a slide deck for me. And it's what it's spitting out. And by the way, a little bit of guardrails. Use this for the headlines. Don't go lower than this point, 20-point font for the things, and keep it less is more. Don't crowd all of that. The same prompting matters. But for me, to answer your question in a roundabout way here, is if I could do that and not have to spend 3 hours in Canva, how much is your time worth? But I think it's like this. Your toolbox has tools. You need different tools for different things. ChatGPT will not, I don't know if they will, maybe they will, but they cannot deliver a PowerPoint. We've tried. Gemini, it just doesn't do it. Manus, flawlessly. So I think everyone has to focus their talents and abilities. And I think the AIs are picking their lanes too. Every AI right now, you can kind of see they're like picking their lanes. They all used to do the same thing. And then you start seeing like, this one won't do that. This one will. So pick your lane, or pick your AIs based on the functions that it gives you. And I think you have to determine, I would say though, too much you can get too much. I think if I look at, and here's another little trick on my phone screen. I don't know if this makes sense for anybody or not. Mike, I'll kick this back over to you. I put all of my AI applications on one screen. So I have all my
all in one. There you go.
So I have, these are all my like daily stuff, like my reading, so I have health and reading, like mindset, my alarm clock mindset at the top. And then I have all my business generation stuff here. And then I have connection. This is all connection. Like I have to be in these every day. Those are connection. And then on the next screen is my AI. So I've got Plod and Notebook LM. So Plod is like my R2D2. And then I have Gemini, or I have Chat. I live in Chat all the time. Then I have Gemini, and then I have Claude. I barely use Claude. And then there's Manus. Those are my actually GPT and Manus. I'm in all the freaking time. And then I have Fiverr. barely go to Fiverr, but I delegate stuff if it's just like build a website or something like that.
Could Manus replace Fiverr?
Manus will replace Fiverr, yes.
Yeah.
And if you notice, like Canva's way down here, and the only reason I have Canva on my phone is if I'm like my technology's bombed out on my laptop and I need my link for my Prezi, and I'm like with Charlotte and about to go on stage, I can just go grab my link from all my presentations. So those are presentations, and I have Splice
we've had to do before, actually. I think we did that in Louisville.
And then if you look here, here's Suno. And I still have Sora. I don't use Sora much at all. It's more gimmicky. I've done some funny things for the kids, but Sora, I just don't. But Suno is all my I do so many songs for like clients and stuff, experiential marketing. And then you recommended Simple, whatever. And you could tell I don't even have it downloaded, but after you said, so it's at the bottom. It's like, it's like I need to explore that AI. So for me, it's like all my functionality, and I'm a little geeky as far as how I organize, but that helps me kind of take a look at, and if I'm going to like use another AI, I'm going to let one of those go.
Yeah.
I'm going to let one of those
go.
There's
only so many spaces on the bench.
There's only so many buckets in my head.
Right. Right.
And eventually, but I think it's like you have a toolbox and you got a big breaker bar, and then you have this little fine tune ratchet wrench. And then you have like every person has Mike, you've got this certain whisk that you like, you have this certain scissors that you like, you have the knife, the cutting board, and when those are dirty, maybe you have a backup, but you would rather have those, like, you know what I mean? You have your go-tos. So
well, and I want to make it very clear, so Manus is not just about like replacing Canva. Manus is it's an AI agent. It is designed so where ChatGPT and all those other ones are still user. They need the user, they need the interface, they need the back and forth. It's great for brain dumps and collaboration and whatever else. On the output's almost always going to be text-based. Manus can continue to do workflows for you in the background. This is an AI agent. So spreadsheets, presentations, reports, whatever you need to do. This is
websites. This
is the first approachable movement into actual AI agents. This is spending $200 a year on a person and replacing a $20,000 to $30,000 part-time salary. This is so. And by the way, we're not sponsored by Manus. We don't take sponsorship dollars from anybody. So when we're pulling these, this is stuff that we actually believe in and are using in our workflow. So there you go. Manus, now an American owned company, and it's probably something you want to check out.
Mike, I spoke 7 times this last week, and I took both my daughters on airplanes with me, on trips with me, and made sure that in those trips there were like actual time. We had time. And when I'm on a trip, when I'm on a business trip, man, it is like go, 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 go. It's maxed out and packed because I'm away from family and I'm going to do as much work and brain function and all that. So when I get home, there's nothing left. All my follow-ups are done. But now I had like my daughters with me on the trip, and I wanted to carve out some special times in those trips. One of which was my youngest daughter wants to own a bakery. And so we're up in Connecticut, and I'm like, what's local to Hartford, Connecticut? Dude, we found this Italian restaurant.
Dude.
Oh, I'm sorry, not restaurant, pastry shop.
Yeah, like the old school one.
Yeah, because So I'm going to send you I put a little video together of our little time and text it to her and said, thanks so much. And when we came home, we were on the track the other day. Mommy was like, so what was your favorite part with Daddy? She's like, the pastry shop, it was just, but it was interesting. This pastry shop, here we are in 2025, or I'm sorry, 2026. But we're sitting there, we get done. It was the best hot chocolate she ever had. It was the best cappuccino I've ever had. I hate cappuccino because it's so sweet, but Italians and Germans, they know how to make cappuccino and it's not too sweet. But anyway, rum cake, amazing. Chocolate cake, she had amazing. And she only charges like $23. So she brings the ticket. I pull my credit card out and she says, it's cash only. I'm like, oh no, I don't carry cash.
Listen, was she a straight up Nona? Like you're
straight up Nona, man. She was like,
your accent was almost Asian. I couldn't really tell.
Well, it's terrible. But she was behind. I actually got her in my video just briefly without being rude. She's behind the counter. Like she went and made this stuff fresh. But anyway, so anyway, long story short, we don't take it. And I was like, do you take Venmo? No.
No.
It's like, Kaylee, do you have any cash? She's like, no, I spent it last time I was out with mommy. I bought my yoga mat thing. And I'm like, oh. So she said, there's a bank across the street. I'm like, perfect. I said, Kaylee, stay here and talk to Nona. So she's like, they're talking. I mean, this is how much trust, but I run across, and as I was running across the bank, Mike, I was like, I would do this again and again and again, because the experience was so great. So that's, again, we're in an AI fire round talking about, like, you could still charge cash, tell people cash only, and you'd still have people do it for the experience you deliver. But anyway, so here's the deal. I run over, get the cash, come back. But all that to say, why was I able to take two and literally sat there in the shop while she made the rum cake? It was not nothing was fast about it. I did all that with no stress, because sitting in the terminal, I had already prompted, and I already had a slideshow, but I wanted it more custom for the group I was going to talk to. I already prompted for 10 minutes into Manus and had my slides beautifully created. And this is where tech has to power human connection for me. If it doesn't, then it's just more gimmicks on my plate, more things for me to go do. It needs to take something out of my life so I can do more of the human connection. So Manus, literally, for me, is my Canva. Now, it does so much more, like Mike said, but I would say, just if you haven't used it or looked at it, just try it out. And I like Manus because it's credit-based. So you can pay a very low amount to get in and start using it, and then go pay a higher amount. It's not like you have to just go pro right off the bat, and they'll just say upgrade your credits as you go along. So
how many credits do you typically go through? Just out of curiosity. I don't even know how that credit-based stuff works, honestly. Like, I don't even know. It's like every function you do, 1 credit.
I don't know, because at the end of the day, it said there's like 0 to 6,000 credits and 6,000 to 60,000 credits, and they're basically at this amount a month. So I think I'm on the like $40 a month version right now.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's enough credits for you. That's 8,000 credits.
I have not run out of those yet. I ran out of the first amount of credits I selected, like at the $20 a month. I ran out of those. So it said, you want to bump up to the 40 a month for this many credits. I'm like, sure, do it. I mean, I'm getting so much functionality.
But what you're saying, though, is so true, because it gives you the ability to kind of grow into the system. And like, if you got to the part where, you're doing the $200 a month version of this, it's because you are literally replacing an employee, right? Like, there's no question about it at that point if you're spending that much money on it. So,
well, my virtual assistant, instead of doing PowerPoints, there's a lot more. I need books mailed out. We're growing. So she's not worried at all. Like, I've already given her 2, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not replacing. I'm like, actually, I'm really, So
yeah. And
exactly.
then you're actually able to 80-20 you're able to 80-20 the 80-20. You're able to, you're 80-20, you're 80-20, you're 80-20, her 80-20. Yeah. I love it.
Could you imagine if, like, my virtual assistant was able to actually reach out and say, hey, Tim's booking out in like June and July right now. He said, he told me, we were in a meeting, he told me that he wants to make sure all of his best customers have time with him, and he'll be reaching out to you, but is there something you want to get on your calendar or something? Like, in my brain, I'm always trying concept, how can I leverage my team to actually create that human connection, that hospitality and whatever. And too many times we're tasked with all this busy work. I'm like, it's technology. Leverage technology like Manus against technology so we can get back to human connection.
By the way, I think we need to do a future episode on how you work with the virtual assistant.
That'd be good.
You would be great at that. You just mentioned, though, because some people are hearing the words virtual assistant, and you and I think of someone sitting in another part of the world working as our assistant, and the reality of it is that the term virtual assistant is going to actually turn into a non-living being that presents itself as a living being, as a virtual assistant. You just had an interaction with someone at an event that kind of went along those lines. You want to talk about that real quick, and then we can kind of dive into this for a little bit.
Yeah, we'll dive into. So you're talking about the cloning?
Yeah. Right.
So we'll talk about virtual assistants at some point, because I do build assistants into like ChatGPT, and I only build those so that it's like a name. So in my memory bank, I know Victoria's my sales assistant, Emily's my email assistant, Lincoln does all my LinkedIn captions for my behind the scenes stuff because I'm documenting, but I hate writing captions. So I just build assistants for different workflows.
Sure.
And then, so that's an assistant, in my opinion, that's virtual because it's on my phone. But I do think having a real life person virtual for some of the stuff that needs a human hospitable, because you can find that voice that fits your business and really get to know somebody. They get to know your essence and have that as like your hospitality, like person answering emails, scheduling. Like for me, it's scheduling. Oh, I hate scheduling it. I go so many places. So for like having a virtual assistant to be, hey, Tim and I were, and check in once a week, have a virtual coffee and like, here's everything I need you to do. Here's the books I need you to mail. Please jot this, write this, email these. That's important. I don't think that'll ever go away. I mean, if you're in a high stakes referral business, I think you should always have a human who's helping you out, just covering your blind spots. But as far as like having some assistance just to go dump your brain and get out of your own way, that's important. So we'll definitely dive deeper on another fire round. But for the conversation of like AI and Manus and all this stuff, the agentic AI Mike's describing, like I see a lot of people getting excited about cloning right now. Cloning your face, cloning yourself as a video, cloning yourself, your voice. And by the way, if it's an answering machine or if it's answering a phone call and you want to use your voice to like answer to weed out spam, I'm not saying I'm against or this is an either or. You can't you can't do that and believe like me. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I did this training up in Bethesda, Maryland last week, and this gentleman came up to me and he said, tomorrow I have scheduled with this company. They're like a social media marketing company. I'm going in there to do they're going to do a couple of videos of me and then take pictures of like sides of my head and everything. And they're literally building my clone. In their machine, they're going to build a clone of him. And I mean, they do it. They have the technology to actually get it where, like if you use Sora on your own phone, your mouth is going to look like this when you're talking, and it's just not going to look like you. Your teeth don't even move. And you could tell Sora came up with it. And even then, that's pretty good. I mean, it looks kind of like you.
But you can still tell there's warning signs that this is not real.
There's warning signs. This is a company that's literally going to take and make sure everything. They're going to, here's you on video, here's your clone, and they're going to manipulate so that it is precise, perfect. And he was excited about this.
Yeah.
And then he was going to give them all of his talking points, his things that are important, the places he serves, and they were going to generate like posts, social media posts, and then have his face say that, and then run his social media for him. And in his brain, he was thinking, I don't have to touch social media again. And so, okay, maybe there's TikTok or maybe there's a platform out there that you're just trying to grow a brand or you're just trying to put a lot of like tutorials or information out there. But in my opinion, so maybe there's a platform for that this is just informational and you can like label
social media.
Yeah, and you could label this. This is like my clone that's helpful, that my customers find helpful because it's talking about real estate things that matter.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you're looking to like delegate social media, where this is your chance to actually go do something on social and be there, I believe that degrades your trust, especially if it's not going to be disclosed that this is an AI generation of me, which I believe the regulation will require you to disclose that at some point soon. Because after the Orca video went viral and everyone's like, whoa, and then it came out, that was AI. Now everyone's online asking one big question around the world. Is this real? Is this real?
Yeah.
So Mike, let's flip this. So I'm not saying don't go do a clone and like disclose on this certain channel. And this is like because people, but if I'm going to get that close to my likeness, I'm not going to do it. I would rather go make myself a Minecraft character or like my hobby or whatever it is. Like I'm into Minecraft because my kids. But I would, or go do a caricature of your face, and everyone will know pure and simple. That's your caricature. That's your channel for like, real estate information. But if you give them something so close to you, then it is complete deterioration of trust. Is this you or not?
Well,
is this you or not?
And I asked you the question before we got on because I know how my kids look at AI and this kind of stuff, and our generation kind of thinks, oh, this is cool, look what you can do with it. And
Yep.
the future homeowners of America
Correct.
think
Yep.
it's creepy as hell. Right? They think it's like,
Yep.
you know,
They do.
they're craving authenticity.
They are.
And you're right. Like, you know, are we doing, and this is again going back to our equation, are you using something that's high tech? 100%. Could this be high touch? It could be high touch in the terms of like, it's not going to be personalized to someone. I guess that you could get to that point maybe a little bit, but it's not, it's going to be high touch as far as you got good quality things that are coming out there. But is it building high trust if it's not you? And it's,
Yeah.
and you're going to get to the point where there's novelty of this, and whether it's the video that looks exactly like me or the voice clone that's your answering service. That's the one that I'm seeing in my Facebook ads all the time right now, is like, you know, get this like virtual assistant Facebook ad, Facebook or AI generated voice that sounds like you. You're eventually going to be like, okay, I got you, the real person. Like, then this is like, people are going to feel valued because they got the real person, and then get the thing that, again, is this a divider or something that's bringing us together? So it's going to be interesting to see how far this stuff goes, because there's always these unintended consequences that people are, you know, think that something's very cool at the beginning. You know, social media is the same way. Social media is a very cool thing. I get to interact with my family in Italy with language not being a barrier.
Yep.
Because of social media.
Yep.
I mean, how cool is that?
Yes. Yep.
But there's also a dark side.
There is. Yep.
And the all these AI products are no different. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love just, is it a wall? Is it creating a wall or a bridge? Wall or bridge? Wall or bridge? Just ask. And then the other thing is, just because it can do doesn't mean it should do. Just because it can do doesn't mean it should, or just because it can do doesn't mean I should do. But I would go to AI and ask, what should it be doing for my business? Not what can it do? Because if you go to what can it do, you're going to subscribe to 100 things, or you're going to fall for every Facebook sponsored thing. And everyone right now is, oh, if you don't stop right now and watch this, or if you're 40 out there and you don't know these 3 things about AI, you are missing the boat right now. I'll just tell you, you're not missing the boat, because that right there, just ask yourself, just use actual intelligence to ask yourself how, like, they are driving so much faster towards you now. The marketers are driving faster because they can. They're leveraging AI to market to you faster and more frequently. So just actual intelligence. I don't care what it can do. Should it do this for my business? And by the way, your social media and your face and your phone call and your showing up in person, those are the things I wouldn't delegate. Those are like, you know what I mean? So that's the high trust that's going to help you to stand out, and trust the multiplier. Trust the multiplier. It is the multiplier.
Well, and I think a lot of times people are thinking like, okay, if I can get an AI thing to do this, then I can use my time to go do this. And defining what this that you're going to do, if something's taken off your plate, is super important. Because if you just think that, okay, I'm just going to go close more deals, you know, I'm going to have all these AI things popped up and it's going to put real buyers and sellers in front of me, and I'm just going to work with these buyers and sellers and close more deals. I'm sure you can do that with some success and some efficiency. However, your future client needs to be nurtured, and they need to be nurtured in a way that develops you as this trusted professional, because they are getting ready to make one of the largest decisions of their life.
Yep.
And eventually that trust is going to just rise above the cream, or it will be the cream that rises above everything else.
Yep.
And the people who are operating on that trust are going to be able to charge a premium price. They're going to be able to give a premium experience, and they're not going to be at a race to the bottom because that number of volume, when you're just trying to get buyers and sellers in front of you, or title companies that are trying to get more closings or whatever else, when that's the thing, when it's the quantity, you become a commodity, right? So if you want to compete on quality and be able to protect what you charge, which means I can work less and make the same amount of money, and have a little bit more fulfillment, because there are people are receiving my value, and appreciating my value, so that I'm appreciating relationships, and both senses of the word. This is where the power really kind of comes to.
That's powerful.
If you do not participate in things that make you a commodity.
AI can absolutely save you time, and it can absolutely make you a commodity. So yes, and yes. In fact, one of our next episodes very soon, we are going to talk about value proposition, price, and never competing at the race to the bottom game. The whole negotiation of commission never even becomes a problem for the person who's competing in the marketplace with high trust and high value. So we're going to have that conversation deeper. But for the AI fire round, check out Manus, guys. Our recommendation, if you want Mike and Tim's hot take, don't clone your face. I would rather just see a caricature or a Minecraft character of your face, or the hobby that's important to you. You might be into Marvel. Like, use that to tell more of your story about what's important to you. Use your face that way for a fun channel. But if you clone something so close, so our hot take is don't clone your face. I would very sparingly clone my voice. I'm not cloning my voice. No, but anyway, yeah. Could you imagine, Mike, if I called you up one day and
it wasn't
you're going through a really, really tough time in your life?
I genuinely think it's you.
And then I called you up, and then you generally thought it was me. And then you and I were talking at a thing, at an event or whatever. And you're like, hey, thanks so much for that voicemail you left me. And I'm like sitting there going,
yeah.
Just at some point, it's got to get up. You want some of the stuff up here. I'm trying to get stuff out of here that I don't need up here. And all the stuff I want up here is actual genuine connection. So I'm going to run my social media where it matters. I'm going to run every conversation. I just want AI to take the conversation and then help me take it and make a plan of attack out of it. That's where AI becomes useful, because it's my tool. If you don't shape your tool, somebody say we shape our tools and our tools shape us. But if you're not thinking about it where AI should do this for my business, and you're just like, AI can do all this, you're probably the tool of AI in that scenario.
Man.
Instead of letting AI be your tool.
It's using you instead of you using it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's powerful right there. We're going to leave people on that one. All right. Have a great couple days. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. And we will be back with you next week.
Yes, where you'll never compete on price, guys. All right.
Don't compete on price. That's why we're free.
Go enjoy. Happy Valentine's, man.
Bye, guys. The Trust Factor podcast is available wherever you get your podcast. You can even watch us on YouTube.
And subscribe to the channel so you can comment and drop your questions and share it with your team.